kidogo na umetumia right. Si unaona? Kuna mtu ana swali? Nani anasikia kuna mahali ya kuuliza swali kutosha? Kuna mtu anasema kitu? Uko sawa? Acha tupe lea kuingia program ya pili sababu ya hii masaa.
Tumu appreciate. Maua. Haya maneno waje.
Mama msilale.
Alelale wa mama msilale. Bado mapambano. Bado mapambano.
Kibila msilale.
Wamukelale. Kibila msilale. Bado mapambano.
Kawangwale msilale.
Lale kawangwale msilale. Bado mapambano.
Na sisi tusilale.
Lale na sisi tusilale. Bado mapambano. Bado mapambano.
Yes. Habari zenu?
Nzuri.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Lea. Ninasifa kama kafe huko Kibagare. Hata wengine serikali nasikianga Lea. Kuja kuangalia Lea. Wakiona kitu wanatoshana hivi. Okay, tuingie kwa section. Section yangu ni ways promoting GBV in a communities. Zile vitu zinafanya community iwe na GBV. For example, kuna cultural practices. Na nikitaka mniambie cultural practices ni nini kwa community. Semeni ni tuni moja. For example, FGM,
early marriages.
Okay, nitaiongelea sana kwa sababu hiyo kabisa nini practices hiyo kutayarisha wasichana na kulazimisha wasichana kuoleka mapema. Huyu inaleta GBV kwa sababu saa zile msichana unamlazimisha kuoleka. Si anaoleka mapema? Akioleka mapema mimi hatajui kupika. Si ni kweli? Hajui hata kufulia bwana nguo.
Bwana anamfunza.
Bwana ameenda kulewa na huko amekunywa makombe zake amekuja. Kila sasa anaita nguo na kupikia. Mpaka sasa umelala hapo. Si vita inaanza. Na vita ikianza nini inaingia?
Na koti yao ni kangaroo.
Na koti hiyo inakuwa nini? Kangaroo. Tukiingia kwa kutayarisha kutairi wasichana. Hiyo pia huleta GBV kwa sababu kutairi wasichana huwa inaleta infection. Si ni kweli? Infection moja ni kama ugonjwa mmoja ni kama
Fistula.
Ingine vitu mnajua, si ni kweli? Isemeni.
Bleed sana.
Ingine
Unaweza kuwa infertile.
Ingine
Infertility.
hizo zote ndizo ziko na ni za ukweli. So sisi kama watu wa community tunafaa tufanye so that dhulma ya kulazimisha msichana kuoleka mapema na hiyo kutairisha watoto wa wasichana tunaweza fanya sisi kama nini kama community.
Kuelimisha.
Vile tumefundishwa kuhusu rights zetu. Like hiyo SGM. Kama unataka kutahiriwa na wewe ni msichana, uko na right ya kukata. Na hiyo
sexually kama same from class 8 anajua same skill.
Na wale wale
Kama mwenye ulikuwa na
kwa hivyo 16 aolewe.
Si ati aolewe, si mambo na kuolewa. Mambo na legalize that nini mtoto akifika 16 years anaweza have sex.
Apate mimba. Atoke shule. Afanye family planning. Yote. Aolewe. That's a solution.
Ikiwa 16 years itakuwa 10 years. Unajua hivyo? Tukisikia kutoka 18 sana zaoreka 18. Hata ukisema 16 utasikia ukisema sasa na vijana na wasichana watakuwa na kama na 10 years. Unakuta mtu ambaye na 10 years ameza.
Niongee kitu hapo. Niko na vijana watatu. 6 8 form 3. Sasa huyu wa 6 msichana wa 9 years anaandikia huyu wa 6 barua. Namwambia nakupenda, kama unipendi mimi najiua. Hiyo barua nilipata. How can I handle that case? Vini kuja. Bibi yangu anaitwaje? Unaona? Hao watoto tukianza kusema 16, wameanza tayari. Wameanza tayari. Tutafanya aje? Ni kuwaweka, waambie ikitu. Not yet time.
Na hiyo baruni ni moja.
That's what tunasema.
Everything inakuja na wakati wake. Asabwezi kasema tumwaka tena aende akafanya nini.
Lakini hiyo ni stage. But hata legalize inaweza kuwa inafaa tuzidi kusomesha hawa. Tusiwafiche kuhusu sex na kuhusu kutumia condom.
Ingine inasaidia kuambia
kupatia
inasaidia hawa watu wafanye na unaii. Ni sisi wazazi.
Yes.
Tunachangia bali sana.
Yaani sio
na kwa nguvu sana. Kwa sababu wakati watoto wamekuwa wakubwa sana. Na wakati wamekuwa kiwango ya kuwa wanajua A to Z, tunalala na wao. Mama hapo pale kwa kitanda, unaona? Watoto tunawawekea mates pale chini. Unaona? Mtoto mwingine ni very bright. Anaangalia tu. Analala hata kama umezima stima. Anajicho ni masikio. Kama siku asasi anasikia ne?
Hiyo ni nyumba ya 10 by 10.
Kwa hivyo sisi kitu ya kwanza sisi tunafaa sisi wazazi tubadilike, ndio wale watoto wetu wakuje kufanya nini. Hata
wanaona pia
TV, si wanaona hiyo maneno.
Lakini kwa ile area huko, wewe ukiwa unajulikana ile area, jaribu kuongea na wazazi wengine. Tumechanganyisha chana, kuna wale wa mama wale wanafanya vituko kwa barabara, si tunawaona. Usimukemee, jaribu kuongea na yule mama pole pole.
Didn't say touch your bucket. Touch your stomach. Raise your hands. Lillian said touch your shoulder. Lillian said bend forward. Lillian said upright. Sit down. We have no time to waste. Sindio?
Yes.
My time is 9:99. Saa tisa na? Mwalimu, take care. Sit down. May God bless you. Amen.
For example, unajua nikivuta bangi kama ni huru itanidunga. Nikienda area fulani inafungwa bangi ama ina crab itadhuru. Nafanya nini? Na igino. Si ndivyo? Kuvuta bangi ama kuchukua bangi za kwenda kuuza ile zingine wakujua. Lakini tunapata kamgeni kanakula mogoka hapo akivuta bangi anakanyemelea polepole. Mwisho inakuwa ni nini?
Ni madhara.
Ni madhara. Si ni kweli? Au hata kutembea usiku. Unajua nikitembea usiku nikiwa msichana. Sema msichana mgani? Ama huyu pita hapo. Nikipita hapo nitapata. Sio unajipeleka mwenyewe. Leo sinatokea hapo.
Hata wewe mwanamke ukiwa kwa hiyo nyumba. Si wa mama wengine wakuje ikafika kwa kitanda ile sigara. Unafaa kufundisha hata kwa jirani hizi manyumba tunakaa. Unasikiza, ukiona huyu mbaba anatuma mtoto masigara hapana. Umetumwa na nani? Hata mtoto kwa barabara umetumwa na nani? Ametuma baba yako? Hapana, mkataza. Kwa hapo ndio huyo mtu ataingia mazoea. Ujikute ameenda.
Anaenda na mtoto na mama.
Democratic.
Why?
Because there is always room for yani mtu anaweza toa maoni yake.
Yeah, we are right and we are all right. From the word authoritarian, like Robert was thinking loudly and I could hear from here, Authoritarian is a leader who issues command and don't even expect someone to respond. Ati nikiingia tu hapa naanza kusema, nimesema kuanzia saa hizi tutakula lunch saa 9. And I don't expect you to talk or ask why. You see? Nimesema tu lunch ni saa 9 na tutasoma mpaka usiku saa 7. You know, because they want to be heard. Most of them speak to be heard and they don't even want to give others a chance to be listened to. So can that make a good influencer? Can that make a good advocate? I hesitate here watu because he is very self-centered.
Leader, this is a person who includes other opinions from people surrounding him to make a decision.
How beneficial to the society can that leader be?
Yes, it could be very beneficial because we realize that within our societies, these problems are shared. They are problems that affect everybody. So, if each and every person gives an opinion of the problem he feels suppresses the community, then as a collective, as a group, they make a decision on how to go forth. That is more effective in correcting.
So are you a democratic parent in your house? For those who are parents?
No.
Are you a democratic one?
No.
You are authoritarian, eh?
Yes.
Unasema tu leo ni nyama na kuna sukuma kwa hiyo nyumba.
Actually I'm both. I'm both. There are some decisions I have to make as a parent in the house, and I don't expect to be challenged. And then there are some that affects everybody. You know, when it comes to like, let me give an example. When it comes to molding my child, when it comes to instilling discipline in my child, then I don't expect him to question that. I expect him because I know more. I've been around the world more than he is, so I know what is right for him. Later on, you will have a choice to make. When he reaches the right age to make choices for themselves, they will always have choices to make. But at least the motive or the information I instilled in him will be a choice to choose from, if that was right.
Very powerful. Are women, most of the women, are they authoritative or democratic? Mtu mmoja support you atuambie how? Because we are learning to be leaders.
Yes, according to how when you see kwanza Kenya yetu iko, me I think wanawake wako saidia wayuko authoritative. Because ingekuwa ni hivyo Martha Karua angekuwa president. Kwa sababu angesema na ikuwe imekuwa.
But unajua tunafanya elections so haisema.
Lakini ndo kuna ile penye wanasemanga ati wanawake lazima wakuwe chini. How many times have they fought? Wanajaribu kufikia hadi hapo juu, hadi mahali pale saizi tunajua this is so and so, this is so and so. Si ni kungangana wamengangana. But because wanafaa kufollow, wanaitwa nini? Wawezi kuwa
si wanaweza kuwa ni venye nyinyi hamwachana.
So is our current leadership in the government democratic or authoritative?
It's democratic. We go to an election, and every leader that sits in that position sits there with a mandate given to him by electorate. So it's a democratic leader. Whether the gender is male or female, they are chosen.
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
I wanted us to come to that level. Now we understand how powerful we can be when we realize we are democratic. Meaning that you have a space to speak, you have a space to allow others to speak, for you to compare notes. No. There is no effective leadership without allowing others to share their views. You have to allow others. Any leader who is democratic is not an I person. Are we together? And any effective leader should be we person. Ati nikitaka kufanya kitu, just get information from others. You'll choose the best and leave the rest. You choose the best to use when you are making a decision and leave the rest. But you have to allow others to have that platform, listen, so that you hear from them. Remember, when we were speaking about advocacy, we speak on behalf of others. So if we don't listen to them, who are we going to represent? In real life, we have to combine sometimes.
Yes, because
We have to combine because in some cases, look at it in this way. When you are taking our case to the chief, that chief will not sit to listen to that guy. He'll act using the powers he's been given first. Then we'll think about this democratic leadership later, after rescuing the victim. So sometimes it's you to be wise and decide where to use what or where to apply.
must be that person who knows when to apply democracy and dictatorship or authority.
Yeah, when you are that wise and your conscience helps you to decide when to be authoritative, when to be a democratic person, automatically you qualify to be a good leader. Because a good leader will never mislead people. Because after listening to you, I can't go and mislead you. What is the difference between leadership and skills?
Skills are acquired. Yes, you undergo some mentorship to acquire skill. But leadership is a quality. It means leadership itself can be a skill.
Warembo, are we agreeing on that?
Leader ni mtu mwenye anatoka from to anywhere. Si lazima uko umezaliwa sasa mimi ni leader hapana.
There are people who just lead. Yaani unaangalia tu mtu hivyo, born a leader. Hajawahi enda shule hata mahali. But venye tu anafanya mambo yake unaona enyewe huyu mtu ni kiongozi na anaweza ongoza watu. Na hajawahi enda shule.
That is right. But leadership, for you to be a good leader, for you to be a just leader, there must be mentorship. You will agree with me that if a child is born a leader, for that good quality of leadership to come out of him, then his surrounding, his mentorship growing up must be right to make him a leader. But if you take that child that is born a leader and put him in a surrounding that everything is helter-skelter, then it definitely won't be a good leader.
But you see, during childhood, hata watoto wadogo wenye wameishi sana na watoto wadogo, you can pick a child leader from those children. Naona tu katoto tu ni ka-influential na kanafuatwa tu na watoto. Jeni, leo tutacheza hii na watoto wote wanaitikia. Leo hatuchezi, mnakaa hapa. Watoto wanakaa.
So kuna vile unazaliwa nayo. Na inakuwa ni kama gift.
Inakuwa ni kama gift. Huyo mtoto hata akikua anakuanga so influential.
They are not being mentored or something, but unaona huyo anaweza ongoza class. That's why we have different.
You know, for you to go to school, there's a mentorship of parents. You know, mentorship does not necessarily have to be a teacher. Parents themselves are the first mentors. You agree with me? So, do not look at mentorship in a perspective of a teacher doing a mentorship. Yourself as a parent, back at home, you are a mentor to your children. And actually, it is true to say that all children aspire to be their parents while they're young.
So a leader can influence, a leader can motivate.
Yes.
So it depends, and influential can be negative and positive.
Yes.
So leaders, we must be also be careful so that we don't mislead the team. Because if we also mislead, that means we are not doing the advocacy work in a right manner. And now we can see the relationship between leadership and skills. Because someone was speaking there anasema, mtoto ana grow kidogo, anaenda hivi, anaanza kuinfluence wengine na wanamfuata tu. Meaning that there is a skill in him that is very special and unique compared to other kids. Tuko sawa? Another lady again amesema pale, ati mwingine anaenda anakuwa prefect. There is also something very unique in that child. Inaenda inamfanya from the leadership ya kawaida, kuna ingine iko juu zaidi. And that could be the skill. Because I can have several skills that you don't have, and that makes me an effective leader.
Knowledge of doing
Skill is knowledge. When the skill is knowledge,
the act of being an expert in doing something.
the act of being an expert. What do you think? a skill is. Huko nyuma. To define ndio to combine haraka na hii leadership, because leadership and skills lazima ziambatane for us to be effective. Okay, skills are abilities and behaviors that help us to lead effectively. Are we together? Skills and behavior. Behavior in this way, that's why he was talking of a child ana influence wengine na wanamfuata because he has a particular behavior yenye wengine wana, and this behavior can be negative or positive. Anaweza kuwa anawezanga kuiba sukari kwao na anakuja anacheza na watoto wengine. Unaona? So as a leader or an advocacy person, you should be very keen and careful, like we said in the morning. Tuwezi fuata tu movement just like that. We have to be able to identify the many things that are negative or positive for us to decide, do we fit in this advocacy team? So can you connect now leadership and having skills and how effective it can be? What are these examples of the skills that we are speaking about?
Communication skills.
Communication skills, that is one. Yeah? Yes?
Motivational skills.
Motivational skills.
Kama maybe, okay, na relate sana kwa kazi. Tuseme maybe umechora job pahali, alafu maybe unaweza multitask. Maybe umeambiwa fanya hapa fanya. So uko flexible, unaweza fanya hii kazi, unaweza fanya hii kazi, unaweza fanya kwa haraka sana.
Yeah, it is true. A leader should be flexible. It means you've identified the need of maybe a GVB case. Then with your creativity and your critique thinking, you decide, let's take this initiative. So that makes you different a bit, because now you are able to think critically and creatively. Are you seeing that skill? Thinking creatively and critically. And that is one special skill for any leader, effective leader. You know, as a leader, you must be aware of yourself. Like we said in the morning, you can't just wake up, go do advocacy work. You must be informed for you to go and inform others. So you also must be aware of yourself for you to go raise awareness in the field. So that is one of the major examples of a skill that any advocacy leader should have. Self-awareness. 2, empathy. She mentioned when I was talking about it, empathy. Empathy is your sympathy. Because sympathy, I look at you, you're ailing, I'll feel for you, or I'll just look at you and go. But empathy, there's that pain that I'll also feel and I'll take action. And most of the good leaders have empathy. Any other leader may have sympathy. I just look at you, nikuhurumie, na nitoke niende. I mean, I haven't helped you. But if I have empathy as a skill in leadership, I'll feel your pain and I'll take action. Are you seeing the difference?
Yes.
Then critical thinking and creative thinking. Anyone leading, especially doing advocacy, lazima ukuwe very creative. Because you'll have banners. You'll have ways of bringing people together, like we talked of lobbying. If you're not creative, how will you reach to these people? We have internet. How will you be so creative to reach to wider range of people whom you want to target for the advocacy work that you are doing? So you must be so critique in thinking on what you want to do in advocacy. Decision making is another skill. Not everyone is capable of making decisions. Do you agree with me? Not everyone. And it takes long for some people to make decisions. And others are very fast in making wise decisions. So any leader who is doing advocacy, I'm relating to this because they go hand in hand, should be good in making decisions. I'm avoiding to say very fast in making decisions because sometimes we make very fast decision that may mislead. Problem solving, very important. In the morning, Robert reminded us there must be need when you are doing advocacy. So if there is a need, that means there is a problem. How are we going to solve that problem? Lazima ujue utasolvaje hiyo problem. And you may identify, we've identified that there is a rape going on in this place, then that is a problem. How are we going to solve it? Because as a leader, you don't just identify. Are you together? You identify and act. If you are not able to act alone as a self-advocate, then you involve a team. Then they'll help you make the right decision and you'll solve the problem. Effective communication. That was a very powerful number one. Any leader should be very effective in communication. Because when you are planning, for example, advocacy work, you will need to reach to people. How do you do that? Through communication. You will need to raise alarm in case of anything. How do you do that, even reaching to that local man down there? Through communication. As simple as even using the SMS. That is communication. And finally, interpersonal communication. Tell us about that. You are thinking loud and I heard you.
Interpersonal skill or the human management is the ability to always get to know strengths and weaknesses of everybody around you, but not to use the weaknesses as their downfalls, but then to use the strength they have to develop them much better. Every human has got the two sides of strength and weaknesses, but sometimes we may use one's weaknesses to make them better, to develop them in a way. A good leader must be that person who must always know that if you identify weaknesses of a person, you must not use those weaknesses as a mockery. You must be able to manage well the group you have if you are doing advocacy.
So interpersonal relationship is very powerful and is very important. I see that in people's CVs. And some even can't explain why they have put that as a skill. But it is very important when you are leading a team or when you are an effective leader. So that brings us to the movement building, which was introduced by one of us early in the morning. And very fast we'll go to definition. Sisi wote tutajibu vile tunaelewa. For you to get a brief definition, think about it in connection to GDP and advocacy. Yes, please.
Is when you decide, as in, ni venye mnaweza amua kitu, then you decide to do it when you are confined.
Venye mnaweza amua kitu, then you decide to do it. Okay. That's powerful. So powerful. Ingine?
I can try.
Yes, please.
Movement building is working together as a team.
Movement building is working together as a team. So powerful, connected. Any other?
Movement building is working together with a common goal.
Working together as a team. Someone added a common goal. Then when they add with a common goal. Any other addition?
I think ni kama groups tofauti zinashikana pamoja, zenye zinashughulikia maybe kitu moja, issue moja, zinachukuana sasa zina work as one team.
Several groups as one team.
Yeah.
Tusifungie jibu yote. We say adults learning tunakuanga sawa and right all of us. Any other? Hakuna?
Wengine tunachukua na nataka kufanya
Sauti ndio wale wasikie. Ndio tutakompare hizi notes zote. Pengine
mmechukuana alafu mnataka kufanya kitu kimoja.
Mnachukuana, mnataka kufanya kitu kimoja. As a team mama.
As a team.
Okay. So we are all right, eh? Movement building. Movement building, like the word itself, eh? Movement. I think someone is talking, someone is thinking loud. Movement. You move as you do it. Eh? I like your thinking. Then someone talked of working together pale nyuma. Another person talked of common goal. very powerful. Mwingine hapa, several groups coming together, working together. But the most important is common goal. A movement is a collection of people or groups, like she said, who decides to come together with a common goal, common objective. Just like advocacy. You don't just wake up like we said, ati unaenda tu kuamka unaenda shughuli. What is the goal? What are you focusing on? So a movement is a group of people working together to advance their shared social or artistic ideas. Bringing people together for a common goal. As simple as that. Why did you come here? Or what is the goal that you want to achieve by today? Because we are ending the sessions today. What is the goal?
I think to be able to promote a free, violent, free environment.
Exactly. That is the major goal that brought us here. Promoting violent, free environment for marginalized young women. Then who are these marginalized women?
Women and young girls.
Marginalized. Marginalized ni wagani? Ati?
In our case, tunadili na hawa watu wenye wameripiwa manini sana sana mademna young women.
So you should have in mind, if you walk out of this place, mtu akuuliza ulikuwa wapi? Mazee nimekuwa workshop for 3 days. Anakuuliza. But then what was the objective? Main objective was to come and learn how to promote what? To live in a violent free area. Uko home penye umetoka. Usiende kama mlikuwa mnapata violence inaendelea, be the focal point wa kwenda kujaribu kupunguza kama siku stop. Okay? Yes. So have that in mind. Usisahau hiyo ndio statement moja tu yenye unaweza ambia watu the objective that brought you here. And that is what you can call the movement building. So young women did a movement building of bringing you together, then you came and learned that. Tuko pamoja? Yes. So for this case, our common goal is promotion of a violent free environment for the marginalized women. How do we form them? Robert, guide us before they tell us how they'll form theirs wakirudi huko home. How did you come up with this group?
We did come up with this group because these young ladies and women, they have got a common goal, something they all share in common, and that is in their communities they both represent the marginalized, those who cannot talk for themselves. So if they all from their communities, all these women and the young ladies, they have got an urge to help the community. That is how they were identified.
Just to add on what Robert has just said, how we have mobilized the girls. We mobilized them from different communities, or rather areas in the 4 informal settlements of Nairobi. So when they come together, they'll be able to form a movement whereby they will be GBV champions. They will be able to identify the social challenges, not only GBV only, not only GBV, but other social challenges which come as a result of GBV, like HIV, as we learned yesterday, how they relate with GBV. So you, as young women from different areas, will form a movement. So initially we had our WhatsApp for only one area, but now we want, you've seen the last session of launch of the Tusamanzi, say no to GBV. So they will be communicating. We will include other girls. We don't need for Kibagare, but now other girls from Kibera, Kawangware and Mukuru, we will include them in the platform.
Have you heard?
Yes.
It's really a procedure. It's a process. They just didn't wake up and thought of twendeni kwa ile hoteli twende tukakae huko tumunge stories. No, they planned. So that means in any movement there is planning. And again, it raises a question. Is this a good movement? Because we have many movements. That's why you'll find as haki yetu tukirusha mawe. That's a movement. That's why you'll find wengine wameingia kwa mall. na wamepeleka bomb or whatever, that's a movement. So what is toxic movement? Because we have good movement and we have toxic movement. Toxic movement is a movement that influences people, bring people together, but with an objective that is going to bring havoc in the community. But if a movement is brought together, like they've said, they mobilized you, they brought you together for a good cause. So this is a good movement because you are here for a good cause, to go and empower the society back. But when you hear an Al-Shabaab amechukua vijana sijui Kibera, Kawangware, wapi ameenda nao, that's a toxic movement. If you see a movement, tunarusha mawe huko kwa street, that's a toxic one. Because you won't get the end product or the results you're expecting from maybe the government or the target you wanted to get help from. Because when we come, tuanze kurusha mawe tukwe violent, then we are not getting any results from the body we expected to get the results. So you should have in mind about toxic movement. And you should have in mind about the general movement or the good movement that we are having today. Together? So movement is power and there is no movement.